Welcome to this tutorial on getting started with the Angular Tooltip component. The Angular Tooltip component is a pop-up that displays information or message when users hover, click, focus on, or touch an image, button, anchor tag, and more. In this video, I will show you how to create an Angular application and add a Tooltip component. I'll also demonstrate how to change its position, enable sticky mode, and render tooltip content using an HTML template. Before proceeding further, make sure you have installed the latest version of Node.js. I'll be creating the application using the Angular CLI tool. I will edit my code using Visual Studio Code and show the output in the Chrome browser. Let's start with the application creation process. I open Visual Studio Code and install the Angular CLI using the command npm install -g at angular/CLI. Next, I will create a new Angular project. I use the command ng-new, project name, and name my project, my Angular app. Now, I am going to create a project with an option to add a CSS style sheet. I chose the CSS option. The project creation has started, and an Angular project with dependencies is created. Now, let me navigate to the project folder. To use the Angular Tooltip component, I need to install the Syncfusion notifications package using the command npm install at syncfusion/ej2 angular-popups --save. I have planned to display a tooltip when hovering over a button. To achieve this, I will install the Syncfusion Angular Buttons package in the application. Now, let me type the command npm install at syncfusion/ej2 angular-buttons -save. This will install the Syncfusion Angular Buttons package. The application is now ready to use. First thing I must do here is register the trial license key to use Syncfusion components. So, open the main TS file and import the register license method from the Syncfusion EJ2 base package. Using this method, I register the trial license key. To learn how to generate this license key, refer to the link in the description below. The application is now configured to use Syncfusion components. Next, I open the app.ts file and import the tooltip module from Syncfusion EJ2 Angular-popups package. Next, I import view encapsulation from the Angular's core library. View encapsulation helps control how styles are applied within the component, keeping styles organized. Under the imports array, I add the tooltip module and set the view encapsulation to none. Now let's see how you can include the tooltip component. To do so, I navigate to the app HTML file and remove the default code. Next, I create a division element and assign a class name container. Inside this container, I add the Syncfusion Tooltip component by using the EJS Tooltip tag. I assign it an ID of Tooltip. Then, I define the content that will be displayed by setting the content attribute to Tooltip content. Before adding the button component inside the tooltip, I need to import the button module. So, I navigate to the app.ts file and import the button module from the Syncfusion EJ2 Angular Buttons package. Under the imports array, I add the button module. Then, moving to app HTML file. Inside the tooltip, I add a button element. To convert this into a Syncfusion button component, I apply the EJS button directive to the tag. I then set the ID to target and the label to show tooltip. Next, I add a target attribute to the tooltip and assign a selector, #target, which specifies the element that will trigger the tooltip when hovered. Next, I add some inline styles to align the tooltip component by setting properties like display, position, and left using the style attribute. After that, I define additional CSS styles for the tooltip component by navigating to the styles CSS file and import the material theme CSS references Once everything is set up, I save the changes and run the application using the command ng-serve. Look here. When I hover on the button, the tooltip content is displayed. Next, I will adjust the tooltip's position. Syncfusion's tooltip component allows you to position the tooltip in 12 different locations around the target element. The tooltip can be placed at the top, bottom, left, or right of the target, with further alignment options such as center, left, or right, giving you full control over its placement. By default, the tooltip appears in a standard position if no specific location is set. To change the position, I add the position attribute and set its value to top right. In the output screen, you can see that the tooltip now appears at the top right corner of the button instead of the default position. Next, I will show you how to enable the sticky mode in the tooltip. This feature allows tooltips to stay visible until the user actively closes them. To enable sticky mode in the tooltip, simply set the isSticky property to true. Now, you can see that the tooltip is set to the sticky mode. Here, the tooltip stays visible with a small close icon at the top right. The user must click the icon to dismiss it, ensuring the information isn't missed by simply moving the cursor away. Alright, so far, I've shown you how to add a Syncfusion tooltip to a button component in an Angular application. Now, I'll show you how to add dynamic HTML content to the Angular tooltip component using the ng-template directive. To do this, I navigate to the code section and begin customizing it. First, I remove the code which are not required. Next, I add the ng-template directive inside the tooltip component and include the HTML content that should appear when the user hovers over the button. In this example, I've added a header tag to provide a title for the tooltip content. Inside a division element, I've included the HTML content that will be displayed. Then, I add an input element, define it as an EJS button, set the type to button, and assign the value as HTML content. For better view, I set the tooltip position to bottom center. Finally, I add the template reference as hash content to display rich formatted content instead of plain text in the ng-template directive. After that, I navigate to the styles CSS file and add some styles to properly align the tooltip and the button component like margin, text align, and padding. Let's see the output. When I hover the mouse over the button, the tooltip displays the custom HTML content as expected. Using ng-template, you can easily add custom HTML content, including images or video, to your tooltips. Let's wrap up this video. I have shown you how to add a Syncfusion Angular Tooltip component to an Angular application. I have also shown you how to change its position, enable the sticky mode, and render tooltip using an HTML content with an ng-template. If you want to try out the example used in this video, you can download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also shared a link to learn how to obtain a free license key to use our Angular components through our community license if you are eligible. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, like and subscribe to our channel.